Hi there, I'm Natasha and welcome to another Journal with Me video. Today I am thinking about the word invitation and I'm using this belly band which I actually got at a service that I went to. On Sunday I went to a rock mass, which was a communion service, but all the music was rock music. And it was fantastic. Absolutely loved it. And as part of that, we were given a wedding invitation because the theme of the service was all about the invitation, the wedding banquet story, and the invitation that Jesus gives to all of us to join him. And we used the wedding invitations as part of the prayers, but we had this belly band left and I decided I was going to bring it home and use it inside my journal, which is one of the fantastic things about junk journaling. Using a journal like this is that you can use anything, and if you've been somewhere and something you want to include something that reminds you of it or that makes you smile, you can do that too. So I'm going to get started. This is my junk journal that I made, and I've also grabbed out some other things like some watercolour inks, some different papers, and I'd also found this image which was of a table, and I just loved how the candles were on there and it looked really inviting and really warm, and I just felt it went with the idea of an invitation. So I'd had the idea of using this page that's vellum, so it's sort of semi-transparent, and adding the belly band to that in some way, stitching it on, sticking it on to make a pocket, which I could then pop something in. I wasn't sure what I was going to use, but I decided to start on the other page first, and I pulled out this, I'm not sure what you call it, but it's just some tape that I've stuck lots of pieces of collage on, and I decided to use that as part of my journal page. I also grabbed a white gel pen and decided to just do some journaling, and as I was doing this I was just reflecting on how we are all invited to the banquet. Jesus invites us all, but so often we try to exclude, and we almost gatekeep that banquet, that table that Jesus invites us to. But actually every single person is invited to join Jesus at the table, and we have a choice whether we join or not. We're not dragged there, we're not forced to go there, we are invited to come and join. And then I've stuck down my little don't know what they're called, the collage thing, and then I'm using some of my Ecoline inks just to add a little bit of colour. I'd pulled out this yellow colour and I thought it would go quite nicely, but actually I wish I'd just stuck with the sepia. I did pop a little bit of the sepia into the yellow, but it was still a little bit too bright. Ecoline inks are fabulous. They are not light fast though, so you can't use it in artwork, but they're fine to use in a journal. I then pulled out the picture that I'd found and was just playing around a little bit with the collage and deciding where I was going to put it, but in the end I decided not to put any at the top, but to simply stick down that image of the banquet table and then just add a little bit of collage underneath that, just for a little bit of interest. So then I just started playing around with some collage again and decided to stick some onto the vellum underneath where the belly band was going to go, so it looked almost like it was poking out of the top. And as I was doing that again, I was just reflecting on that invitation that every single one of us is given to join Jesus at the banquet table, and how, where Jesus constantly gives us that invitation throughout our lives, and we have that opportunity to respond to it. I can think back over my life of the different points when I've been given an invitation to come and join Jesus in the work in the world in different ways, whether it's through, with my family or the job that I do, that, Jesus is constantly calling us to get to know him better, to go deeper. And it's just such a beautiful illustration, isn't it? The wedding banquet. And then here you can see I am adding some holes into the belly band, and then I have stitched around it. I did that off camera. It's really tricky to stitch on camera. I'm sure I'll master it at some point, but not today. I just used a beautiful burnt orange thread to do that. And then I've pulled out this journaling card, which I've made using a masterboard that I made a while ago and haven't really done anything with it, so I chopped it down to the right size, rounded off the corners, and here I'm just adding a little tab to the side of it so that I can easily pull it in and out of the pocket. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. I imagine I will use it in some form of prayer, maybe to write on the back the names of some of the people that we would like to invite to this wedding, to this wedding feast with Jesus, who maybe don't know Jesus already. That was one of the prayer activities we actually did at the service I went to, and that's something that I might do with this journaling page. You can then see the page that's behind the vellum. I decided I wanted to stick it to the vellum page, just so that you've got that interest behind it, because I quite liked how it looked. So I cut the page down, or tore the page down, and then just used some glue to stick it down, but I didn't stick it all the way. I just added glue around the edges so it makes an extra pocket, which I'm not sure what I'm going to use for yet, and that might be something that I come back to doing another day, but it's just giving me that extra pocket. And you can now see the doily that's underneath, that's kind of the next page now, is just poking out as well, which just adds a bit of interest. So then I just finished by adding the words "all are invited" onto that page, just as a reminder of what I've been thinking about and how I was thinking about how everybody is invited to come and join Jesus at the wedding feast. And once I'd finished that, I grabbed my Neocolors and just added a few squiggles, just for some extra colour and a little bit of extra detail, because I hadn't got a lot of colour on the page. But I'm really pleased with how this page turned out. I love all the different techniques that are included, and I found it really fun to add that pocket in the way that I did, and to use something that otherwise would have gone into the bin. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Please do subscribe if you've enjoyed watching it, and I'd love to see your creations if you've created something similar too. Until next time, goodbye.